Hi, my name is Rachel Rowe, and you're watching UpLate Austin with Heather Bishop.
All right, y'all ready? Here we go. Well, I don't wanna shine for you unless you're real, unless you're true. Don't want to hear you say my name if you're just another clever westbound train. Work the carnivals till midnight. I've known a gypsy or two. Been on my knees in the garden of redemption. Lie to me, and I'll lie to you. I don't wanna shine for you if you think you've got something more important to do. Don't want to hear you say my name if you're gonna trade your good intentions for fame. I've been from here to Madagascar. I've been to Paris, I've been to Rome. Seen the 7 wonders of the world, and I can tell you where you lay your head. That ain't a home. Take my hand and let's go dancing. Unleash the heart, the soul, the bones. This precious word is for romancing. No need to walk this world alone, alone, alone. Oh, I don't want to shine for you unless you're real, unless you're true. Don't want to hear you say my name if you're just another clever westbound train. I've worked the carnivals till midnight. And I've known a gypsy or two. Been on my knees in the garden of redemption. Lie to me, and I'll lie to you. Lie to me, boy, and I'll lie to you. Don't you lie to me.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So, I'm always interested in knowing the origins about how musicians get started in the music industry. So, I was kind of curious about your upbringing as to where you were born and what brought you to Texas.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, both my grandmothers were piano players in different environments. One was more of a church pianist, one was more of a home pianist, and they both taught piano lessons. And my family is actually originally from the Caribbean. They
nice.
immigrated at different times to New York, and then we came to Texas in the 70s. So I basically grew up here in Texas, grew up here in Austin. And music was just sort of a given. There's a time period, I think, where just playing music and playing piano and things of that nature were just sort of part of what everyone did. And so I started playing violin, viola in elementary school, and the piano was just sort of a thing that was always around, so you were expected to plunk around and do things. And I played music all through elementary, junior high, high school, went to college at Southwestern University up there in Georgetown, and played all through that. And then after I graduated, learned that there's a whole universe beyond classical music that I wasn't quite aware of, that you can actually play music that's not classical. So my heart is still with classical music, playing violin, viola, piano, but just, I was like, oh wait, you can be a session artist and you can play all this other stuff. So yeah, went on from there.
That's awesome. Any specific musical influences that inspired you?
Wow, I love all the things.
Agreed.
I really do. Whether it's, blues, rock, gospel, obviously, ironically enough, Shostakovich is one of my favorite composers.
Oh, nice.
As is Vivaldi. But then I love Aretha Franklin. I love Linda Ronstadt. So I gotta tell you, Dolly Parton is actually one of my favorite artists of all time, because not only is she a phenomenal songwriter and musician, she's a wonderful human, and sort of I feel like Dolly Parton encompasses all the things. She's got the humanity, she's got the art, she's got the music, she's got everything. So she's just one example of all the things.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and move to the next, but that's awesome. Of course. And can I get your name?
Joe Volpi.
Got it. And what got you started on the bass?
My cousins, growing up, I grew up in upstate New York near Albany, and my cousins lived in Long Island. And when we would go visit them, they had a band, and they practiced in their mom's garage, my aunt's garage. And so my cousin Mickey was a bass player.
Okay.
And so I would go in and listen to them.
Nice.
But my direct family, nobody played music. So I'm the first musician out of my direct family.
Ah, gotcha. And what brought you to Texas?
My son.
Oh, nice.
He moved here with his mom when he was 4, and shortly thereafter I came back down here down here
You're good.
from California.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'm going to move on to the next, but that's really interesting. And can I get your name?
I'm Tony Cook.
And what got you into guitar?
My older sister
Okay.
was back in the 70s, so we were listening to all the old classic rock,
Oh, yeah.
and I loved it. She taught me a few things, and it went from there.
Any specific artists that interested you?
Well, lots. Currently, lately, like Richard Thompson, I'm a big
Oh, nice.
fan of his. The classics like David Gilmour, Jimi Hendrix, of course Stevie, and different acoustic players too, but I could go on all night, so yeah.
Oh, no worries. Well, I'm going to move on, but that was really cool to hear. Let me make sure I can actually get the camera. Anyway, can I get your name?
Troy Millward, also known as Porter Rockwell.
Okay, gotcha. And what got you started into music or into drums specifically?
I've always, ever since I was 4, imagined I was going to be a drummer. It's just like inside of me, and then music itself is part of life, you know. And
Right.
I'm obsessed with it, so that's why I'm here.
And how did you meet Heather Bishop and join this band?
Oh, that's a great question. We met through Izzy Cox, actually. She had passed away.
Okay.
The three of us here were in her band. We backed her up as the Ghosts. And when she passed away, we did a big tribute to Izzy Cox.
Oh, nice.
And Heather and Danny were involved with that tribute. And then we all just kind of like, hey, I think we like each other. So Heather invited us to join her and Armando here as well.
Oh, awesome. I'll actually go to Armando next. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to meet
How
you.
are you doing?
Not too bad. How about
Armando
yourself?
Reyes. Good. Good. Thanks for having us.
Of course. So let me ask you. These are the timbales, correct?
Timbales.
Timbales. I said it wrong. Well,
Or tamales.
either works. What what got you started into percussion?
This band right here,
Okay.
Rush.
Rush. I
Yeah.
love it.
I saw these guys when I was 14 years old,
Okay.
and changed my life. I started beating on everything, and I mean everything. So yeah, they got me started. But I moved to Austin in the late '80s and started hearing all the great musicians and players and everything, and I was like, well, I've got to buy a drum kit. So, and more recently, I'm starting to do percussion. So, meanwhile, this guy's holding down the beat, so it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go down to Danny. Thank you so much. Go down. I know I just said your name, but can you say your name again?
Danny G.
And what got you started into guitar?
Probably late 80s, Guns N' Roses and Metallica on MTV.
Okay.
And it was like, wow, that looks fun. I want to do that. I want to play music, and I want to play in bands, and I want to travel, and I want to see the world. And
Are you originally from here, or did you move here?
Corpus Christi, I moved here like January of 2000.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to go back to Heather, but thank you. Okay, so I know this has been touched on briefly, but can you tell me a little bit more about how the band got started?
Sure. Oh, sorry, wrong mic.
Okay.
So Izzy Cox is this wonderful. I don't even know how to describe her. She's sort of a country, punk rock, revolutionary artist. When she passed away, people wrote about her in like Saving Country Music. They wrote about her in punk rock magazine. I mean, she was just this amazing whirlwind of a human. And there were all these tributes being played. And I was really fortunate to be asked to participate in some of the tributes. And it was an honor. And, she was a friend and a really complex human. And I was so happy to be able to, pay tribute to her. And it just worked really well, with these wonderful musicians. And we just kept doing it. And then we started adding in other stuff. And finally, we just realized we were really having a joyful time playing together. Why don't we continue that? It was very natural, very organic, not planned. It just sort of happened. And here we are years later, still playing together. And everyone here has their own project. Everyone here has their own stuff, their own tours, their own music. And we really are a collective. We all play together because we truly love each other. We want to play together, and it's a really good band.
Oh, I love that. So actually, I wanted to ask, how would you describe your music to people who may not have heard you before?
That's a really great question. It's something that I actually posed to other people. I say blues, rock, Americana, sometimes Southern Gothic, because we touch on sort of, ethereal, otherworldly themes sometimes, but not in a scary way. So yeah, blues, rock, Americana is what I go with. We have a wonderful pedal steel player, Lee Chavez, who's not here with us tonight. When he brings in those fine pedal steel chops, we definitely have a little bit of a honky-tonk vibe as well.
Yeah.
So there's really not much we can't do style-wise. We've covered Slayer.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes because that was an appropriate gig. So we had kind of a metal vibe one night.
I love that.
We like to believe that flexibility is really important.
Well, that's great. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys play your first 15-minute set, and then I'll be back around 8:30, and we'll come back with another interview.
Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Of course.
How about some next Sunday?
Meet me in the middle of the porch next Sunday. Wear your dancing shoes. It's been a long time since I danced with you. I ain't offering forgiveness. I ain't asking for it too. All I'm telling you, my darling, is I'd like to dance with you. Place your hands
Glad it worked out with her.
around my waist like you used to when you cared. Close your eyes, smell my perfume in the air. Swing me round in a circle. Let the birds and bees stare. Still waters run deep under there. I ain't offering forgiveness. I ain't asking for it too. All I'm telling you, my darling, is I'd like to dance with you. Meet me in the middle of the porch next Sunday. And wear your dancing shoes. I ain't offering forgiveness. I ain't asking for it too. All I'm telling you, my darling, is I'd like to dance with you. One more time, y'all. I ain't offering forgiveness. I ain't asking for it too. All I'm telling you, my darling, is I'd like to dance with you. All right. So I change guitars a lot. This next song is called Black Cat Mojo. It's inspired by Robert Johnson. I was watching the Netflix special about it, and I was inspired because apparently he was not a very good guitar player, and he went away for a year, and he came back, and he was amazing. And rather than saying that he practiced, there's this whole folklore about it. And I was sort of fascinated with that. I thought, you couldn't just say you practiced?
And I recognized it was a different era. But I thought, all right. It's called Black Cat Mojo. Y'all ready?
If you ever a voodoo woman, don't you do her wrong. If you ever voodoo woman, don't you do her wrong. Don't go running round town singing that cheating song. She got a black cat mojo and a one-eyed dog. She got a black cat mojo and a one-eyed dog. You're gonna find her after midnight, barefoot in the fog. If she loves you, you better love her back. If she loves you, you better love her back. You're gonna find her after midnight in the graveyard with the man in black. If she had a voodoo woman, don't you do around. If you had a voodoo woman, don't you do around. Don't go running around town. Don't go running around town. Don't go running around town. No.
All right. So this next song is called Reflections. I've had the unique circumstance to lose my home to a natural disaster twice. I do not recommend it. It's not a lot of fun. However, if that happens, do make art because it makes everything a little bit better. The song is called Reflections, Sunlight on the Water. We're going to do a little tuning first. Everybody good? This is the part where I should know some really funny jokes, but all my jokes are dad jokes, which is a whole category in and of itself, but probably not the best to tell during a show. You know what? I'm going to stop because I get the liberty of doing that because I'm out of tune. And I'm going to have someone else in the band tell a joke. I'm not doing that whole song out of tune. All right, you got the mic, Danny. What's a joke? Tell us a joke. There we go.
Can't tell that one. Can't tell that one. Ooh, I certainly can't tell that joke.
There we go. I found the culprit. There
Knock,
we go.
knock.
Cool. I got it.
The dog heard somebody knock at the door.
There we go. Got it. There we go. You've heard this intro before, but that's all right. Tell you what, we're going to keep on.
It's the humidity.
I was going to say this is not working, but that's all right. I'm going to hand over the guitar to Danny G, which I don't mind on doing. Which I actually don't mind doing, because I'd rather play it right. So, I'm going to imagine a question from Rachel right about now. And so, my very first concert was Dolly Parton, and I actually saw her at a rodeo in Indiana, which was very surprising because we didn't live in Indiana. We actually lived in Texas. We had family in New York. And to this day, I have no idea why we went there. That's a very far drive for a concert. Maybe my parents loved her as much as I did. I'm not sure. And with that, we're going to start this song. I'm not going to redo the intro.
When in the trees, whisper on the dream, sunrise, new dawn, reflections, moving on. Moving on. Sunlight on the wall. New moon, sons and daughters. Season come and gone. Always moving on, moving on. whisper on the train. Sunlight, no dawn. Reflections moving on, moving on. Rockstone meets wood and wire. Hurricane meets flood and fire. It breaks down, then you raise it up. Pours out, then you fill the cup. Yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Johnny.
That was amazing. Honestly, so as a songwriter myself, I always have to wonder your own songwriting process and what inspires your songwriting.
Thanks for that question. I appreciate that. It's a little varied. There are days where the whole song writes itself in my sleep, and I just get up in the morning and I'm like, ha! And you just sort of sit down with the guitar, and the whole song is laid out for you, and it feels like it came from someplace else. You have no idea. You're like, thanks. Muses, inspiration, whatever you are, thanks.
Right.
And all you do is you get up and you write down all the lyrics, and you plunk out the chords, and you write that down. And all the work has been done for you, and you have no idea where it came from. There are other times where you have a chord progression or something in your head, and you're sort of plinking it out, and you're working through, and it really is sort of a process of idea versus synthesis.
Yeah.
And you have the music, and then eventually you pair it up with some vocal idea, and the two come together. It really is sort of all over the map. I don't have a set thing.
Okay.
I'm just grateful that it comes at all. You're like, thank you.
Is there one thing that comes easier for you, lyrics or melody?
I would say melody typically comes first.
Okay.
And then I write poetry, so I'll have all this poetry stuff over to the side, and then I'll have melody off over here, and then at some point the two sort of meet.
Okay.
They do arrive typically separately,
Okay.
except in the case where it comes in the night, where they come all packaged together. Just really nice.
Right. And do you have a favorite song that you've written?
Oh.
I know that's probably a hard question.
That is a hard question. I will say that I really like Westbound Train, which is one of the first songs that we played.
Okay.
I think because it was inspired by Wicked Game, which is one of my favorite Chris Isaak songs, and it was inspired by Bad Things, which is a Jace Everett song, and it was inspired by True Blood. It was inspired by these disparate things that sort of came together, and it doesn't sound like any of them at all, but I'm happy with the synthesis. So, yeah.
So sorry, I need to take a look for a second. Do you have any upcoming projects coming up? Any new album releases or anything?
Absolutely. We have a double album that we've been working on. It's really two different albums, but because they sort of we were working on them at the same time, we call it a double album, but it's really two different.
Okay.
We started at the beginning of the pandemic, and what a journey. I know a lot of folks really dug deep and did all sorts of really wonderful creative things during the pandemic, and it's been great to see everyone do all that, and it's taken a while, but one album is called Lo-Fi Nights.
Okay.
The other is called Next Sunday, after the song Next Sunday that we played earlier.
Got it.
And they're very distinctive. They've got two different styles. We had so much material, it made sense to just split them up so that
Oh, okay.
all the material that was like Next Sunday goes on that album. All the material that's more sort of lo-fi and maybe rock-oriented goes on that album.
Okay.
We've got that. And then we've been playing at Hole in the Wall every other Saturday for about 5 years now. With
Nice.
the pandemic, we live streamed. So we're continuing to do that.
And any other upcoming events coming up for you guys?
Do we have any other upcoming events? That's a great question. Y'all? Oh, yeah, we're playing I was like, it's a collective brain. Yeah,
All
we're
good.
doing a songwriter series the third Tuesday at the Parlor in Hyde Park. So where we just bring up, have you come up? We're just bringing in wonderful songwriters. Some folks we know, some folks we don't. Just trying to showcase other people, because you got to share the stage. You got to be generous.
Yeah, I actually just recently heard about the Parlor with 16 Deluxe. I know they're playing in February.
So it's a really great place.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing it for
Yeah.
sure.
So yeah.
And then where can we find you on social media?
Sure. I am on Facebook under Heather Bishop Music. I think Heather Bishop Music. And then on Instagram, Heather Bishop Music TX.
Okay, awesome. And then another question I was very interested in asking is, do you have any favorite stories from all your years of performing?
That's a really great. Actually, yeah. I do get stage fright, and I work with it pretty well, but there was one show, I was supposed to open up for Taj Mahal at a festival in Houston, and let's be clear, I was one of many, many people there on the festival, and there's a wonderful artist here in town who's no longer with us, he's no longer around, but I knew that I did not have the sort of mental capacity to do the show on my own. It was just me solo and guitar. So I asked him, I was like, hey, if you can just be in charge of everything, that would be great. And I will pay you everything that I get from this festival if you could just be in charge. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So he made sure that I got there. And don't get me wrong, today's money was not a lot of money. But he made sure that I got there, that I was set up, that he just handled everything so that I was able to do this. And I did not have the confidence at time to do the show. And without him, I never would have done the show. I wouldn't have had that experience. And it was just, and granted, again, I stress that it was not a lot of money, but just the fact that he was willing, as a fellow musician with a lot more experience than me, to help me get to a place where I had the confidence to do it on my own, because I was able to do more things after that on my own. And what I love is the sense of community and encouragement. There's another artist, Dan Renee, who helped me, again, gain confidence to do things on my own. I love the beauty of support that exists in the community.
And would you say that's all throughout all the music scene in Austin?
That's been my experience. I've certainly heard other people say that's not true, but I've felt that people have been very supportive of me, and that's put me in a position to be very supportive of others.
Very nice. And then I know you mentioned you have stage fright, and I am also someone who gets a lot of stage fright. What advice would you give to young musicians maybe that are trying to overcome that?
I think surrounding yourself with people who are very supportive of you matters a lot. And I actually had a chance to talk with Bonnie Raitt about this a long time ago, and she said, you know, treat the people that you work with respect, and because no matter how good you are, you're never as good as the people who are around you.
Oh,
You know,
I love
and
that.
I'm paraphrasing. She didn't say it exactly like that.
Oh, you're
But
good.
ultimately, treat the people around you with respect and support, and they in turn respect and support you.
I love that. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys perform another 15-minute set, and then I'll be back at the end.
Thank you so much. Dime? All right, y'all, this is a fictional version of some real stuff. If you're a young lady at a honky-tonk and you just want to go dance, you don't need to tell everybody your name. You don't need to tell them your story. Just go dance and have a good time.
I saw him standing in the pale moonlight. I heard him say, I'm going crazy tonight. Oh yeah, I'm going crazy tonight. Somebody told me better watch that one, 'cause he's a bad mother, son of a gun. Oh yeah, and mother, son of a gun. Oh, bet you down to a dollar, that man knows how to run. He said, now baby, do you know how to dance? Ha! I said, I might. He said, you may have a chance, oh yeah. He said, you may have a chance. I said, no, baby, what you drinking there? He said, don't matter, girl, I like your stare. Oh, yeah, I really like your stare. Oh, bet you down to a dollar, oh, we gon' go somewhere. Oh, I don't really need to know your name. Meet me on the dance floor, we gon' put it to shame. Oh, yeah.
time to a dollar yell. Let's go straight to Sparrow. This next song is called Sparrow, which is actually inspired by Dolly Parton. She has a song called Little Sparrow. This is not that song. But anytime you can give a little shout out to Dolly, you should. I do love my guitars. Ready, y'all?
Yes.
Here we go.
Little sparrow, broken wing, in a hurricane, poison arrow to the skin. Do you feel the pain? And the wild wind scattered broken hearts through the air to the remnants, if they matter. Empty closets by the stairs. Little sparrow, silent scream in a thunderstorm. Nightmare waking from a dream. Does the fox mean the hen hound? And the wild wind scattered broken hearts through the air to the remnants, if they matter. Empty closets by the stairs. Yeah, yeah. And the wild wind scattered. Yeah, yeah. Broken hearts through the air to the remnants, if they matter. Clock ticks by the stairs. Yeah, yeah. Stairs.
Heather and the Bishops. Thank you.
That was insane.
Thank you.
I'm kind of curious. Did you get a lot of vocal training growing up?
I sang in school choirs,
Okay.
and then in college, I sang with other folks, and I did sing with a gospel choir for a little bit of time
Got it.
in college.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious because those high notes. So actually, I had another question that's kind of similar to what I asked earlier. But as a musician myself, I was kind of curious what advice you have for young musicians in general.
Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, because there's going to be a lot of folks out there who tell you that you can't do it, but believe in yourself and be flexible. Like, don't have such a set idea that you have to do it one way, because sometimes you can do it a different way. Just be flexible and be creative with the ways that you go towards your goals.
I love that. And also another thing I was kind of noticing as the performance was happening was all the guitars. Since I play guitar myself, do you have a favorite of the guitars that you have?
That's a hard one. I love all of them. I play Gretsch guitars mostly, although this is a D'Angelico 12-string. So this is my current favorite.
Okay.
But I gotta be honest, I love them all. I really do. And they each have a slightly different sound. And this is just my current favorite, maybe.
And do you write all your songs on electric, or do you start off on acoustic and translate it?
So they each have a slightly different feel to them, and so when I sit down to write, sometimes I have a feel in my head, so I'll reach for a different guitar according to the feeling that I have when I want to write.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then also, I wanted to shout out the social media one more time so people know where to find you.
Sure. On Facebook, it's Heather Bishop Music, and on Instagram, I believe it's Heather Bishop Music TX.
Got it. And then another fun question I kind of came up with kind of last minute was, if you weren't a musician, what would you be doing right now?
Whew. Probably teaching.
Just teaching music in general?
Teaching all sorts of stuff. But I have taught music, and I'd probably be doing more of that.
Oh, okay. So you have teaching experience too. And what did you teach?
I've taught English, I've taught music, and then I've actually taught test prep to help students reduce anxiety when they're taking testing and things like that.
Oh, that is awesome. So I just got the signal that we have to go off air, so we're going to go off air. But thank you so much. This band was incredible.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you having us.
Thank you.